Chiropractic. Thank you so much for joining me today. Um, or if you're watching a replay of this, thank you for watching. It's an exciting day today. Almost every day is an exciting day. Any day above ground is a good day, right? But thank you again for watching this. Today, I wanted to talk about one of the simplest and most powerful tools that we have to assess health, and this is something that I think that we kind of take for granted, and I think this is something that most of the doctors will use. Not a lot of chiropractors will use this, but a lot of most of the medical doctors will use this tool. However, I'm not sure that they use it to the greatest extent possible, and part of that is dealing with insurance companies, and that's a whole nother discussion for another time. But one of the most powerful tools that I like to use in my practice, and this is a tool that we can use over and over and over again. It doesn't it it's a powerful tool, and it gives us a lot of information that we wouldn't normally find if we're just assessing symptoms. Now, symptoms are important because they give us they tell us that something is wrong. They don't necessarily tell us what's wrong, but they tell us something is wrong. And a lot of times the symptoms that bring people into my office are usually some sort of a pain symptom, a musculoskeletal pain symptoms. Back pain is a big one, headaches, neck pain, all of that sort of thing. And I see a lot of mothers in my practice that they have a lot to do, and they have so many things that's on their plate, and they just don't have time to be bothered with pain. And so they come into my office for help. And sometimes they've been to other doctors, they've been to other chiropractors, they've done physical therapy, they've done all of these things. Uh, and this is when I really bring out my favorite easy tool to use, and that's blood work. Now, I'm not saying that I want people to get stabbed and get their blood sucked out of them. That's not what I'm saying. Unfortunately, that's something that has to happen in order for us to analyze things that's in the blood. But the blood gives us a lot of information that we would normally miss. One of the things that I like to look at that I don't think anybody else, at least not anyone in Las Cruces, does, but there's not a lot of other practitioners that look at hormone balances when assessing pain. That's not something that we always think about. We always think about, oh, I stressed myself, or I slept wrong, or I worked too hard, or I lifted something I shouldn't have lifted, and that very well may be true. But if you've ever just had that back pain that just kind of comes on slowly and gradually, and you're not sure why, then we got to be looking at other things. This wasn't an accident that happened. There certainly is, repetitive traumas. If you're doing the same thing at work every day and you're not using good posture at your workstation, if you work at the computer a lot, these are stresses that can occur. But there can also be underlying hormonal imbalances that can amplify that pain. And if we're not looking at the hormones, we're missing something. And that's one of my biggest, that's my favorite, the favorite tool that I like to use when we're assessing someone's health. And a lot of times I love using blood work for wellness and preventative reasons as well, because we can pick up things in the blood that show up before there's even a problem. We can see that, for example, diabetes, we can see that diabetes is going to occur in your future if we don't do anything, if we don't change it. And we can prevent that from happening by looking at the blood work. But a lot of times I use it for pain, because that's why people mostly come into my office. I love it when someone comes in and says, "Hey, I just want wellness. Let's run a wellness blood panel." Yes, let's do that. That's great. Because prevention is so much easier than, okay, we've got a problem, now we've got to fix it. So I do use blood work in that capacity as well, but most of the time it's assessing for pain. And how many of your doctors that you've been to before look at hormones when you are having pain symptoms, when you're having migraines, when you're having low back pain? Who would have thought that low back pain can be caused, or at least amplified, by hormonal imbalances? And this is what we're seeing all the time in my practice, especially when there's other symptoms like fatigue, restlessness, you can't sleep. There's always something else going on. And we're always trying, at least in my office, we're trying to find the underlying cause of those symptoms and not necessarily treat the causes or treat the symptoms. A lot of people do treat symptoms, and that's understandable because the symptoms make us uncomfortable and we don't like the symptoms. But we fail to realize sometimes that these symptoms are uh, they're showing us, they're telling us that there's something else going on. Maybe there's a bigger problem. And if we just stop at the symptoms and retreat the symptoms, we might be missing something that's going to rear its ugly head down the road. And that's what we don't want. So we want to always look at the underlying cause of the symptoms and treat the underlying cause rather than treating the symptoms themselves. Another way I like to put this is I like to treat the person. I don't like to treat the symptoms. I'm going to treat you. When you come to my office, I'm going to treat you. I'm going to look at you. I'm going to look at your health history. I'm going to look at your blood labs, and we're going to correct those imbalances, and we're going to make sure that everything in your body is working as best as we can make it work. And naturally, a natural process of that is once everything in your body's working well, you're not going to have any symptoms because your body's not going to try to tell you something's wrong because nothing is wrong. And that's a beautiful thing. And the beautiful thing about the blood work is we can actually identify problems before there are even symptoms. And so we can prevent symptoms from happening if we're catching it soon enough. And to me, that's a beautiful thing because I think that the quality of life is so important, especially for mothers that are dealing with children that have a full time job, that are married, that have partners that they have to take care of, they have housework to do, and this pain just can't slow them down. And so I always encourage someone to come in and get a checkup every once in a while so that we can prevent that rather than wait till it becomes a crisis. Because who wants to deal with pain? And if we can prevent pain, let's do it. However, if you are having chronic pain symptoms and if you've been to other chiropractors or you've been to doctors, you've been to physical therapy, you've been to massage therapy, and that pain keeps coming back, do yourself a favor and check out my website. Schedule yourself an appointment in my office. If you don't want to commit to a full appointment, there are options. I have discovery calls that I'll do for free. I'll spend 10 minutes with you, make sure that you're a good fit, make sure that we can help you in this office without any commitment whatsoever. So book a discovery call with me and just talk with me because when you book a discovery call, as of right now, I'm okay with doing those discovery calls myself. Later on in the future, I might have to have someone do that for me and then just see you when you come in for your first initial visit. But right now, I'm doing my own discovery calls, which is a beautiful thing. I enjoy doing that. But there will come a time where I'm not able to do that anymore. And so now's a really good time to get on that. One other thing before I go, I do want to let you know that I still have my ebook up on my website. It's a free resource. Take it, check it out. It's yours for free, no strings attached. This won't be be around for a long time. In fact, I'm working on a new project coming up this week, and I'm working on a new recipe book. It's a pain recipe book. So if you have the chronic pain, we're teaching you how to eat your way out of pain, and that's going to be an exciting thing. And so my free ebook isn't going to be around for forever. It'll probably be up for another couple weeks, if that. So make sure you check it out. And if you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call. Contact my office, schedule a discovery call, and I'm looking forward to seeing you, helping you with your chronic pain, or better yet, helping you with the prevention so that you can continue on doing everything that you do and saving the world. You moms out there, you really do save the world. So again, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.